Question 2, you're discussing the legality of the transaction tabled for discussion. It is approval by the board. So guys, you're thinking here, where am I going to find something that I have studied in auditing that will deal with the board giving approval? And it's likely then it's Companies Act. So let's go to these meeting minutes to see what the transaction was, and then I can go and find the theory in the Act. So I come to the minutes. What have I picked up? I've said there's a share buyback from a director. So let me go and have a look in the Companies Act at section 48, which deals with share buyback. Section 48, company or subsidiary acquiring company shares. It doesn't apply if this is for tendering of a shareholder's appraisal rights, which is not applicable, or the redemption of redeemable securities, so this section does apply. Subject to subsections 3 and 8, and if the decision to do so satisfies the requirements of section 46. So I need to look at what paragraph 2 is saying, and then 3 and 8 and 46. To determine whether they have complied with the Companies Act. So, it says, the board may acquire a number of its own shares. So, cool. Now I need to look at subsection 3. Despite any provision or order in the MOI, the company may not acquire shares if, as a result, there will be no longer any shares in issue other than those held by a subsidiary or convertible or redeemable. So we've got to make sure that once they sell or buy back these shares, they don't only have shares held by subsidiaries or that are convertible or redeemable. This is actually achieved. Now I need to go to 8. A decision by a board of a company contemplated in 2A must be approved by a special resolution of the shareholders if the shares to be acquired by the company are from a director. This is applicable because the shares are being bought from Pluto Dog, who is a director. So I've already seen no special resolution was passed, so I've got non-compliance with the Companies Act. Just by looking at the 2 subsections, I still have to consider section 46. So let's go to 46. Section 46, distributions must be authorized by the board and cannot be authorized unless it reasonably appears that they will satisfy solvency and liquidity immediately after, and they have resolved that they acknowledged and applied the solvency and liquidity and that they will satisfy it. And if it hasn't been completed within 120 days, they have to reapply solvency and liquidity. And just note here, director will be held liable if they were present and failed to vote against. So off the back of this, I've already got another non-compliance because the resolution doesn't show that they acknowledged and applied it and they will meet it. And then I need to go and do it myself. So I've already got 2 instances of non-compliance because there was no special resolution and no acknowledgement of solvency and liquidity test. Now I've got to go and calculate it myself, so I do that calculation and I get 840. And now, how can I see if after this they will be liquid and solvent? Well, your interim financial statements, 31 December 2021, this decision is 2 days after. So I've got to go and say, okay, take away 840 from here. And now, all of a sudden, I'm not liquid. Okay, because that was 17,500. I take 840 from it. I'm less than 17. So they haven't applied it and they do not meet it after. And so this decision is not legal. I'm doing question 2 and I'm going to say, this is a share buyback from Pluto Dog. And I'm going to say, the board can authorize a share buyback from a director, but not if, as a result, there will be no shares in issue other than those held by a subsidiary or convertible or redeemable. A special resolution must be passed by shareholders it must reasonably appear that they will satisfy solvency and liquidity tests immediately after, and they must acknowledge by resolution that they applied and satisfy the solvency and liquidity test after. Okay, and now I need to say a special resolution was not passed for buyback from Pluto Dog, who's a director. Immediately after, they will not be liquid. How do I know? Because I take my current assets of 17,500 minus the 840 less the 17 for my current liabilities, and current liabilities are greater than current assets. They have not acknowledged that they have applied and met solvency and liquidity test after. And therefore, it has not been complied with in terms of the Companies Act. In addition, director present that failed to vote against can be held liable and therefore all directors except Pluto, who removed himself from the decision, and Sylvester, who was not present, could be held liable losses as a result of this decision with the non-compliance with the Companies Act. Okay, next question.